Welcome to Grounds for Discussion
and Title Talk,
where we bring together closing, processing, real estate,
and coffee, of course.
Whether you're a buyer, seller, agent, or fellow industry professional, join us as we unpack the processes that make real estate deals happen. Hi, I'm Jennifer.
And I'm Barbie.
And today we have the escrow officer of escrows, the knowledgeable and infamous Nicole Hedrick with us today.
Infamous. I love it.
Fun.
Been around a minute.
Let me just say, Nicole is my go-to. When I have a question about escrow, it's Nicole.
We talk to her a couple times a week.
A few times.
It's great.
Just a few.
Yes, well, we are super excited to have you today. We know you have a wealth of knowledge when it comes to all things title, escrow, and office with women, right?
It is
all right.
Yeah.
So tell us a
Wild
little
ride.
bit about Nicole and like how long you've been doing it. And
So I started at Hogan Land Title in 1997. Were you born yet?
I was born. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Like you just a baby?
Literally a week out of high school, and I get a phone call, and do you want to interview at Hogan Land Title? I'm like, yes. I no longer walk in the door, and they're like, you have a job. I'm like, wow.
All right. That was easy.
I mean, straight out of high school,
Cool. Yeah.
it was fun.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, I have this big girl job.
Mm-hmm.
And so it started from there.
And then what was your first job?
I worked on Boomville
Uh-huh.
as a copy shooter. I'm like, I don't know what a copy shooter is, but this building and all these people are fancy. I'm going to try it. And it was nothing but great.
I love that.
Awesome. Well, before we really dive in, what did you bring us to drink today? This is really pretty.
This is a dragon drink.
Ooh.
My daughter turned me on to these, and I'm like, okay, it's really, really good.
So
Super
pretty.
So
So pretty.
We're going to try it.
Okay.
I've never tried it before. So cheers.
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 Okay. That is so good.
That is good. And real fruit.
Yeah, dragon
They're so
fruit,
good.
Is it
coconut,
energy?
coconut milk, and green tea.
It's more like a refresher.
Okay, so there's not...
So we won't have all colors of Barbie today.
That's what happens when there's so much sugar and so much... I just flicked water everywhere. So much sugar, all my senses are heightened. What do you really drink in the mornings? This is your favorite Starbucks drink. But what is actually happens to you in the morning?
So, if you know me, you know I drink Red Diamond with Splenda.
And so she was so sweet and brought us
Our own little
with
cups.
Red Diamond. So we're gonna try that too.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
And cheers. Lots of drinking today. That's good.
That hits the spot.
Okay,
That's really
that's
good.
better than sometimes sweet teas.
Yeah, it's not that
are
sweet,
so
is it?
sweet. Like my husband's family, when they drink sweet tea, it's like sugar and a little bit of tea. This is sweet, but not
It's not
overly, and it
Yeah.
doesn't have that aftertaste.
Right. And I've tried all the other bottled teas if I'm out of town or whatever. I actually pack that tea with me when I
That's
go
funny.
places.
So Red Diamond,
Red
With
Diamond with Splenda.
sugar-free with Splenda.
and
It's-
if
yeah,
I
it's
don't
really
have any, I can add Splenda later. I can drink it without, but that's my preference.
Okay, gotcha.
All right. Well, let's
Gotcha.
get into it. There's a lot
Okay.
to talk about. I
A
think.
lot to
I'm
talk
ready.
about. Lot to talk about. So you started as a copy shooter.
Yes.
Then what was your next step?
Quickly turned into working more in the order entry, processing incoming contracts.
Okay.
At that time, did I really know what it entailed or what it meant? Not necessarily, but it was busy. We were busy.
Yes.
In the late 90s.
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah. And they needed help, and I'm a pretty quick learner.
Yeah.
And so it was great.
Yeah.
It was great.
And what's neat about Hogan is it's been around for 60 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, it's really built to be a wonderful company. And
100%.
yes.
Every single one of those bosses that I had in that one office on Boomville are still they're the same. It's the same.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
The
awesome.
longevity is really impressive of
Yes.
this company.
Yes.
And so,
Yep.
so then what was next after that?
I mean, it progressed pretty quickly. They're like, okay, maybe we like this girl, I guess. I don't really
You
know.
learned
But
quick.
They didn't get rid of her.
Promise.
I hear whisper pretty quickly that, we've bought this new building and we're going to be moving to Sunshine. I'm like, okay, this is great. So we moved to the
The big
main
East
office
Sunshine
on
office.
Sunshine, and I had my own desk, and I started like the next step after processing, going into the books and researching that and tracking out all the property and just searching.
Is that search? Okay.
I did that for a solid 6 years probably.
Yeah.
So
you were 18 or 19.
yeah.
And so for 6 years,
I worked at the
your
main
way
office,
through. Okay.
processing all of those.
Okay.
And then also I did recordings. So I would drive to Christian County every day. There was no such thing as scanning or digital or anything. So I would spend half my day at Greene County, and I would spend half my day at Christian County.
Wow.
And anytime you needed to look up some sort of judgment or what have you, I would have to be in the circuit clerk's office, and I would go and pull each of their files and pull out which document I needed. And so it's really, it has evolved.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Big
that's
time.
and that's kind of what we're going to talk about is how everything has evolved. And so, how many years have you been an escrow officer?
So I got married in 2014,
Okay.
and we got married in Hawaii. Get back from our honeymoon, and Keith calls me into the office, and I'm like, "Am I getting fired?
I just got
Am I
married
getting
and I've got
fired like directly?" And he goes, "How do you feel about working at Republic Road in closing?" And I'm like, "Okay, sure." I started like the very next day.
That's awesome.
So 2014.
Oh, awesome. Very awesome. So really, you've already kind of touched a base about how everything has changed because of computers.
Yes.
And being able to do everything digitally. As escrow side, what is one of the biggest differences you've seen from 2014 to 2025?
So obviously back then, agents were hot and heavy over the Homes magazine. Like, we're going to get these in, and then, oh wait, no, we're not. Contracts were still carbon.
Really? Carbon copies.
Yeah, they were like, if I remember right, 2-3 pages, and they were carbon.
So if anybody out there that is young enough not to know what carbon copies are, Nicole, will you explain to us what a carbon copy is?
Sure. So it is, it's 2 pieces of paper, black in between, and when you write on it, I would receive the original top copy, and then underneath would be a printed copy.
Yeah.
So,
that kind of, for lack of a better, bleeds through from the carbon.
from the,
Yes.
the pressure of the
Yes.
They
pen.
kept those. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when you had a closing, and you have a closing packet with a lender, like, was it just this huge stack? Was it just a couple of pieces of paper? Like,
It was
like a rodeo?
I would say probably half of the current loan package, but there was no such thing as emailing it to you. So it was either you went and picked it up, or your driver picked it up, or it was overnighted to you.
Wow.
Yeah, there was no such thing as emailing documents.
So what would you say the most challenging thing that, like, the adjusting to certain things that were coming out? Like, you had this certain process. What was the hardest thing when things started to change that you were like, I don't like this, I don't want to do this, this is too hard?
Well, I think
then you
emailing
adjust.
documents obviously gave everybody more time in a crunch situation. So before, we needed time to drive across town to pick up documents or what have you. So now it allows a loan officer to have more time to get that file still to the closing table.
And also give you a loan packet an hour before closing.
It happens a lot.
So what I hear you saying is all of the evolution of this process only made it easier. There wasn't really
That's right.
anything that you were like, this is terrible idea.
Yeah.
This makes my life harder.
That's right. It made everything faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gave you more
It's
time.
just faster paced.
Yeah.
You're going to go.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Very good.
So it was great. It's good.
Good. So really, as far as money, that really hasn't changed. Would you
No.
say? Because we take in money,
That's right.
we disperse money.
Yep, that part is still all the same. We used to have to, what was called fax for funding. Every single transaction, you faxed the documents, and then you waited by the fax machine for a document back telling you that you were good to fund.
So how long did you used to schedule closings? Like how long?
We still did an hour, but you would get backed up very
Tight.
quickly. People
Yeah.
would be waiting in the lobby
Yeah.
for you to release funds.
So now we honestly can get a closing done probably within 30 minutes if we have a small package, if everything is good and we don't have funding and everything. Perfect scenario. We could probably get it done in 30 minutes.
It
But
used to be
then,
minimum an hour.
Oh, yeah.
minimum an hour. Yeah. So then, as far as with filing, like of course we didn't e-record and everything, and deeds. Did you ever see, because everything is really truly done by human?
Yeah, that's
rather
right.
than computer.
That's right.
Did you see more errors then because it was more human mistakes, or was everybody pretty much, well, not on Hogan's side, but trying to get information and
that part of it, was slower paced, but no, I think it's always been good on that end for sure. It took longer, obviously, because it would be next day.
Yeah.
Where now it's same day.
Yes.
Okay.
So that part is a lot different. Lack of, or the errors are less because of the time frame.
You've got more time.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Okay.
So what would you do if you got into a closing and, because we've gotten to closings that there's a mistake on the deed of trust. They've accidentally forgot to had the marital status wrong or this or that. And then you're having to go back, come out of the closing room, go back to your email and say, hey, this deed of trust is wrong. This is wrong. I need a new one.
We're going to fax you a new one.
Fax you a new one. And then you would have to stand by the fax machine.
I wish I could remember when emailing docs really became a thing. Showing my age because I'm forgetting. It's been a while. Obviously, COVID really pulled that up because there were local lenders that still during COVID would bring
Really?
documents.
Oh, really? Okay.
Sounds awful. I'm so used to the new ways.
It is until your printer goes down and
Yes, we've had that happen.
That's fine.
I bet you've seen some crazy stuff. In all
Yes.
of this. So tell us if there's one or two scenarios that you're like, guys, this is the story. This is the thing that has just really rocked my world.
In regards to
Your job,
like
what's something
crazy
crazy that has happened to you?
Oh, I've had some really rough ones. I had a gentleman really upset that we couldn't accept $40,000 in cash that he had brought to closing. He was not happy. And I am really sorry, sir, but that's never been a thing.
Yeah.
And
so how did that?
So he literally brought in $40,000 in cash in a bag and was like, here, take my cash.
Basically, yes. So some things fell off the wall as he was leaving. It was really bad. It was really bad.
I did have a guy call the other day and say, so let me ask you this. I've never done this before, but do I just go to the bank and get $126,000 in cash and bring it to you in a suitcase or something? And I was like, no, that's not how that works. And he was so disappointed. He was like, of all of the scenarios where I would ever get to put money in a suitcase,
you're not going to let me do it.
You're not going to let me do that. And I was like, no, unfortunately, no. He was so bummed out. He said he was going to feel like
everyone is like cash. You won't accept cash.
Well, and as you've learned now, we do not accept cash. That is just not what we do. We take wire, cashier's check. And please don't whip out your checkbook to write out $100,000 check.
Which happens
your personal check.
That happens more often than cash, I would say. Right?
Happens
all the time.
A lot.
And then you just smile and you look at their agent and go, do you want to tell them that they're going to have to go get a cashier's check?
I did have a lady one time, and it was a 4:00 closing, and she was coming in hot, and she was flustered. We get to the end, and she's bringing cash to closing, and she has money orders, which are great, right?
Yeah.
She gets to about the 9th or 10th one as she's ripping them, and it rips pretty bad. There were 3 of them that she ripped pretty bad. Well, I didn't know at the time, but you have to exchange a money order where you purchased it at.
Yeah.
In Arkansas.
Oh,
no.
So that was really a bummer. But
so you don't
we made it work.
Do you?
We do everything we can. Yeah. I mean,
a lot of times we can kind of pause and talk to the lender.
Finish the process.
get everything happened.
Yeah.
I mean, most of it was there. A few were ripped. You know, we can work this out.
I am obviously new to Hogan and new to this process, but I will tell you from my perspective, one thing that I have noticed about Hogan particularly, and if you don't know, my background is real estate, so I've closed some places. Hogan particularly does everything. You guys work over and above to try to make it happen for them. Very client-centric, very customer service oriented. You're not going to throw up your hands and say, sorry, we're out of luck. We'll try again tomorrow. You guys you work so hard to make it happen for the agent, for the client.
The best to our ability.
Yes.
I mean,
there's
I
always
want this
stuff.
to happen just as much as you do.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
So that's my 2 cents in plugging how great I think Hogan is. And obviously, I'm a little biased because I work here now, but don't forget, previous to this,
You've been there.
I've been there on the other side, and it was always a scenario where I'm like, here you go, I've got spinning plates all over the place, and I just need to hand you this plate, knowing you're not going to drop it.
Yes, please.
Period.
Yeah.
So, and I'm grateful
Yes.
for that. And I know that there's a lot of agents out
Yeah.
there that are as well. So.
and prideful in knowing that if it's something I can't say yes on my own, that I'm a phone call away from
You've
being
got the
able
support.
to. That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yes. The support backing you going, do what it takes.
Yeah,
for sure.
And and at any time you can pick up a phone and make a phone call to us.
You're going to
and-
get somebody.
Yeah, you're going to get somebody,
Yes.
either the process
Yes.
or the escrow officer. We're there to answer the questions, there to help and figure out with you if you have a situation that's on a spinning plate and that plate is cracking, what can we do to make it happen?
Yes. And
Legitimately.
and
Right.
You know.
and properly.
Yes, properly.
So
There
and,
is a-
and all locations, you know, we all have our own identity, we all have our own personality, but we all support each other and we help each other.
Yes.
So the newest Hogan ad on social media
Yes.
has been my favorite by far.
I love it.
Yes.
And it's accurate.
It
Yes.
is. It
Yes.
is. We're all one
Yes.
big team in separate
Yes.
locations.
Yeah, that's
So
great.
if you're not following Hogan on Instagram, you
Do
need
it.
to, because there's the best little commercial that Abby Oliver, our intern for social medias, put it together. And I love it.
I knew
love
nothing
it.
about it making it, but it's my favorite.
Same. Like Michelle and Abby were like, do this. And then we're like, okay.
And it was over in like 30 seconds. We're
Easiest
like,
thing I've
that
ever
was
done.
so easy.
I mean,
Yeah.
I will say the Penny the Pin, it's up there with that because that's a good one.
Yeah,
Yes.
that is the good
Penny
one.
the
Yeah,
Pin,
that is-
yes.
Penny out.
Go look that one up
I
too.
love it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Nicole.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're super grateful.
Congratulations to 28 years with Hogan.
28 years.
That is
28
a
years.
big deal.
Woo,
Big
woo.
deal. That's huge.
28 more.
Yeah.
Hold on.
All right, here we go.
Good luck with that.
So funny.
Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
Bye.